Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm starting early. 2 minutes early. So the countdown time was wrong. Who cares? So I'm going to do some more work on my Swordmage class. We are going to work on the Teleportation. So, as it works at the moment, the Teleportation uses mage points. And mage points are basically just spell points, essentially. So all the spells that a Swordmage has as a class, we are now that is available to use for teleportation, which is great because it basically means that you can use all your spell slots to teleport. But I was having some problems with it. One of which was teleportation was too expensive, and there's not much in the way of spell slots. Another one was that essentially you use all your points, and not only can you no longer cast spells, but you can't teleport anymore. And I wanted to separate those two. I talked a bit about this last time in terms of the resource drain. You've got the issue that the ability shouldn't be dependent solely on the spell slots. They're extra. So you should have a bit of that in addition, at least. So what I did last time was I went and said, well, okay, let's split those out again. Let's go back to the traditional spell slots, and split out our arcane techniques and our teleportation from that, so that they're there as abilities and they're independent. So we did the arcane techniques last time. I suppose I ought to show you what we did. So we did a bit of work with them during the stream, with great thanks to Essa for her comments during that stream. And we've come up with a solution that I'm really quite happy with. It's not quite as versatile as what I had before, but it's also not as limiting. That's a good point. I don't have my bot running. I've forgotten about the fact that I'd moved the commands across. Let's run up our bot whilst we're talking about this, and then we can shout out Essa, can't we? Yeah, so we did a bit of work on that. So as arcane techniques worked before, it was a case of you make an attack as part of the attack action. If you hit, you can spend some points to do some kind of technique, which would either be frequently as extra damage, but also could be things like imposed disadvantage, blind, that sort of thing. Right, we'll turn our alarms off. Go with those. Save. There we go. Let's see if that now works. It's on. There we go. So yeah, that's how it worked before. And again, we had the problem that the points, the mage points used spell points essentially, which were what we were also using for spellcasting. And so the moment that you choose spells, you can no longer use arcane techniques. And so I wanted to split that. So, and they were also too expensive for what you got. I wanted something that would add a little bit of magic to every attack, or to most attacks. So the way that we worked the arcane techniques, I'll just quickly go through and summarize. So you get up to 5 elements. Start off being able to pick 2, you can eventually pick up to 4. You can prepare which element that you want when you prepare your spells. So after a long rest. Right. And then now you have to activate arcane techniques. So you get 1 activation and it lasts for a minute. And then those get you can then not use it again until the next long rest unless you use a first level spell slot, and that'll give you another activation, right? Or first or higher, right? Also, if you get yourself in a situation where you go, okay, I picked fire this morning, but we're now facing fire elementals, and so fire's no good. I want to change the element to cold, for instance. Then you can use a first level or higher spell slot when you activate to go, right, let's change the element. So that's the basics of it. It lasts for a minute, ends if you're knocked unconscious. If you trigger the burst technique, which I'll get to in a minute, or you can end it as a bonus action. Use as a bonus action to start, right? And when you activate it, your sword gets a nice funky appearance, magical appearance. Whenever you hit the creature with a melee attack as part of your attack action. So it doesn't work on attacks of opportunity. It doesn't work on melee attacks that are related to spells, that sort of thing. May tweak that. Depends on how overpowered it is, right? So when you make an attack and you hit as part of your attack action and you hit, you do an extra 1d8 damage to the target of that element type. So if you pick fire, it'll be fire. If you pick cold, it'll be cold. Whatever. You can then, and this will last for a minute, which is basically an encounter. But you could, during the course of that encounter, go, okay, I'm going to trigger burst technique, which is listed below, and it's basically a technique that does a fairly significant amount of damage. Not huge, but a fairly significant. To an area. It's an area of effect spell, essentially. So if you've got multiple targets in the area, there you go. And that will then end your activation of arcane techniques. The language of that is not great. We'll sort that out at some point. Yeah, and you do significant damage. When you trigger the burst technique, you then cannot reactivate your arcane techniques until you've finished a short rest. And that includes by expending a spell slot. So it just says, you've used a lot of energy in doing this, you've got to take a short rest before you can use it again. And that way, if you're going into encounter after encounter after encounter, you can't, well, not even encounter after encounter. It means that you can't go, right, I'll use my bonus action to activate it, and then use my action to use the burst effect. And then next round we go, bonus action to activate it, burst effect. It's avoiding gaming the system, right? So what effects do we have? So let's start with acid. So yeah, blade takes on this sort of green hue, and you get drips of acid along the blade. It's very cool. The burst effect here is you do a sweep of your blade around you. Acid flies out, splatters nearby creatures, doing... They must save on a dexterity saving throw, or they must... If they fail on a dexterity saving throw, they take 2d6 damage. Now what I need to highlight here is if they save, they take no damage. And so that's the compromise there. I tried to make these effects roughly equivalent to a first level spell effect. So they do a lot of damage, but there's no half damage if they succeed at the saving throw. So yeah, that's 10 feet around you. Oh, and 11th level, halfway through, the damage increases. Because that makes sense, and it's kind of like cantrips. Cold. So the blade becomes a sort of frosty... Get frost crystals along the blade. It's very cool. That burst effect, ice spikes. So you throw this crystal off your blade up to 30 feet. And it then explodes. And then any creature within 5 feet of that must make a dexterity saving throw or take damage. So you see, I tried to make each of these have their own flavour to them, so they're all different. So the acid, you got a radius around you up to 10 feet. The cold, you can target at any point within 30 feet of you, but then it's a smaller radius, right? Fire! Your blade is wreathed in flames. Cool. I've said make it a colour of your choice, because as Archimedes, it's sort of bluey green, which seems weird given some of the context, but I think it looks cool. Then you have Flame Blast. It's kind of like Burning Hands. So, 15-foot cone. More damage there. Smaller area, more damage. 3d6. And I've, rather than double it at 11th level, I said, let's go 5d6. That seems reasonable. Lightning. You get lightning crackling up and down your blade. Very cool. And then this is the old 30-foot line, 5 feet wide. So you point it, anything within that line gets hit by lightning. And this is the interesting one with lightning. I went, okay, let's make it 1d12 damage. So it's quite variable, but that doubles if the creature's wearing metal armor. So, I mean, you could imagine a scenario where you go, okay, I've got this 5 foot wide corridor, whole bunch of enemies lined up, they're all wearing metal armor, lightning line down there, that would be very cool. But in a lot of cases, you're probably only going to have a situation where you could maybe get 1, possibly 2 in that line. Chances are one of them will succeed on their saving throw. So there you go. And again, I've doubled that at 11th level, so that could be quite devastating. So in theory, yes, it does seem a lot more damage than, say, the Acid Splash, but realistically, it just means it's more variable. And actually, because it's just a line, you're not going to get as many. I could reduce that down to 1d10 if need be, but we'll see how it goes. Then finally, Thunder. Your blade hums as it vibrates with a sonic energy. Yes, I know that's not an appearance. And then you have effectively the Thunder Wave spell, or similar there too. 15-foot cube ahead of you. Need to succeed on Constitution saving throw or take 2d8 damage. Everything in there is pushed 10 feet. If they're pushed into an immovable object, so if you push it in the creature in that distance into a wall or into a tree or something like that, they take an additional 1d6 damage. Because that makes it interesting. And then again, that doubles. Right, so there you go. That's your overview of the arcane techniques. Because last time I'd only written up notes on it. And I figured I might as well tell you guys what I've written up. Because you hadn't seen the burst effects before or anything, so yeah, that's cool. Right, so back to teleportation. So we're decoupling it from the spells. So that's one aspect. Biscuit says hi. Hello, Biscuit. Is that because he's also streaming and Kitten's also lurking in his stream? Would make sense, wouldn't it? Teleportation. Right, we want to decouple it from the spells. Now, as things go at the moment, you've got 2 stages. So you've got your initial teleportation at 3rd level, which is broadly Misty Step. Broadly. And then you've got an enhancement at 8th level, which is broadly Dimension Door. So those are your 2 sort of key points. Now this teleportation thing has to hit those key points at that point, right? The other aspect is that you have I liked the idea of weighing off additional distance versus number of times you could teleport. The easiest way of doing that is to have a resource pool and saying, right, you're going additional distance, you use more resources for your one teleport, and therefore you can teleport fewer times. I don't want to have a dedicated teleportation resource pool because that's clunky. So we're gonna have to think about options. But anyway, hey Mary, welcome back. So let's put down our design intents here. So first off, Misty Step at River. Equivalent, right. Second off, we have dimension door at 8th level. Equivalent. Right, so what is Misty Step? Well, Misty Step is bonus action, of sight, that's weird. Is it just one? There we go. Right. Bonus action, lone sight. 30 foot. Stealth. Okay. Dimension door is... I don't know what that is. Let's look it up. Spells. Dimension. Right, so Dimension Door, that's an action. No line of sight. Damage is blocked. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do my joke. I should have said, hi back, I'm Antan. But, you know. Distance is up to 500 foot. And self +1. So those are our sort of key points. What else do we want? So we want way off between distance and frequency. I think those are the key points. Oh. Option for additional passengers for cluster. Let's capitalize that W just so that it doesn't look odd. So that's basically what we're trying to cover. Now, option 1. So option 1 will be teleportation equal to froth bonus. So you start off with 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Long rest plus fly with spell slots. It's one option. Per short rest, I think those are the two options. Distance starts at 30 at third level. Increases with level. Actually, I should say max distance. Increases with level. So, e.g. 60 at 4th, 100 at 5th, etc. Plot on class table. So this option, basically you've got a limited number of times that you can teleport. either per long rest with the option of buying more spell slots, or just set number per short rest. Don't know, that would need to be tested. You start off with a max distance of 30 feet at 3rd level, and then that increases, not necessarily linearly, but it increases. So 7th or 8th level you got your 500 feet, and then that carries on until you get to 20th, and you can just do what I call a tactical teleport of, I don't know, 1,000 feet. Now, would that seem excessive? I don't know. Because it basically means that when you get to the higher levels, distance is no object, no issue. You can just keep. So you don't get that compromise between distance and frequency. It's just, as you level up, you can do it more and you can go longer distance. So naturally, I don't like that so much. But it's probably the simplest implementation. Option 2. Again, we're gonna, let's copy that. Paste. Right. So again, teleportation number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, either per long rest plus buy or per short rest, right? But this time, max distance 30 feet, 3rd to 7th level. Possibly with option to buy distance with spell slots, and then max distance jumps to 500 at 8th level, again with option to buy distance with spell slots. It's a bit clunky. And you then basically saying, right, here's one rule for this. Also, line of sight required, line of sight not required. So yeah, it's a bit clunky. You're saying, right, this is the rule, level 3, and then you're going level 8. Right, remember that rule that you had? Ignore that now, this is now the new rule. it's clunky. Yeah. So I don't really like that very much. But it is a way of working it. And there's variations on that theme, so you can say at the higher level you can go, well, you get the lower distance for free, but then you've got to pay for that higher rule set. Things like that. It's a bit clunky. Option 3. Teleportation resource pool. Again, I don't like this. And I would probably set it similar to the sorcerer points. So let's have a look at that. Sorcerer table. Sorcery points. Yeah. So it's basically equal to level. Right, so start with 3 points at third level. Increase by 1 point level. Okay. And then we go 1 point equals 30 foot. And you either spend points on go for distance or separately for more teleports. Okay? Now that's fine, but when you get to 8th level, you're then looking at going, well, 830s give you 240 feet. And actually we ought to have the ability to do 500 feet. And relatively easily as well. I think I worked out that if a single teleport should be 1 point, then your dimension door equivalent should be 3 points. So how do we scale that? So we could go suddenly, and this is how I've got at the moment, if you, after 8th level, if you spend 3 points, you can go 500 foot. But again, that's a weird discontinuity. So we'd be better off going sort of mixing up with the option 1. Mixing up with option 1 and going max distance increases with level. So we want to achieve 500 feet with 3 points. 3 is into 500. So 1 remained to 2, 3 is into 2, it's 6. So it's 166. So let's say 180. So 180 feet per point at 8th level. It doesn't actually work. Let's make a table. Look, table. Distance per point. Three. 30 feet. 4. 60 feet. 5. 90 feet. 6. 120 feet. 7. 150 feet. 8. 180 feet. What's 3 18s? 3 8s 24 is 240. 3 1 3, so that gives us 540. 3 points. And actually a teleport distance of 180 feet per point. It's not huge. Distance 3 points. So 90, 3 6s, 180. 3 9s is 270. 3 12s is 360. 3 15s, so 3 5s is 15. 3 1s is 3, so that's 450. And that's 540. So I think that works quite well. And then let's carry on. So that's 2, 10, and that's 63. Ten would be 240, and then 3 24s. 3 4s are 12, 3 2s are 6. So that's 720. 11. No, 27. 8. 3 7s are 21. 3 2s are 6. So that's 8 10. I'm sure there's an easier way of calculating this, but we'll carry on. 300. 900. See, I think this is a better progression. But at the same time, at this point, when you get to 12th level, you can do that 12 times. That might be an issue. We'll carry on with this. Right, 3, 990. 14. 360. 3 6s are 18. 3 3s are 9. So it's 1080. If you look at these numbers, right? So the 10s are going down in 1, and the ones these are going up in 1s. So in theory, the next one will be 1170. $390 fit. So 9 3s are 27. 3 3s are 9. 3 plus 2 1170. See, I now no longer have to actually work it out. Isn't that cool? Right, so that'll be 420. Amusing for some. 1260. $17. Oop, you jumped to the next column. It's 450. And that'll be 1350. 18. 480. And that'll be 1440. 19 will be 510. And that'll be 1530. And then 20 will be 540. Random number to end on. And that'll be 1620. Anybody geeky enough to recognize a bunch of screen resolution sizes in that lot? Am I just talking to myself? Probably. There you go. Right, so that's where we've got. Now, at 20th level, being able to do $20 540-foot teleports per long rest. Good. I'm glad you noticed, Mary. I'm glad you noticed. Now, is that overpowered? Probably. Right, let's add another one in then. Point. Right, so this would have been so much easier if I just made a spreadsheet. Never mind. Onwards and upwards. So let's say we halved it. So rather than getting a max of 20 points, you have a max of 10 points. Okay. Now do we round up or round down? Does it work like that? Right. I need a D&D class that has points but up to 10. Does monk key do that, or does the monk go up to 20? Monk goes up to 20. Bard? I don't know if Bard has any. No. Warlock. Evocation's no. No, it goes up to 8. That's a bit weird. I'm sure there's something that goes from 1 to 10. What have I done? Rogue! Yeah, okay, sneak attack goes in that progression. Yeah, that works for me. Right. So that's going to be, that could be your option 3, right? So distance per point increases. So when you get to 8, and actually you can adjust how many points you have. If it's literally just teleport. And we could even cap the distance. So I'd cap it 500 or something. I don't know. So at that point, so we're not starting with 3 points. We'll start with 1. Was it 2? 2 points of hurt level increased by 2 levels. So we'll delete that. There we go. I'd also say that from 8th, not 7th, 8th level can teleport without line of sight. Let's just put that line of sight. From 8th level and teleport +1 for 3. Additional +1 cost 1 point per person. Yeah. That seems like the best way of doing it. I'm not entirely sure about the ability to just teleport 90 foot at 5th level. But then, that said, I mean, let's look at was it Thunderstep? Yeah, I know you can't see my other screen. Right, Thunderstep is a 3rd level spell, which a full caster would get access to at 5th level, right? Thunderstep allows you to teleport. Admittedly, it's an action. +1 willing creature up to 90 feet. Let's see. No, I don't want wizard spells. I wanted wizard. So wizard, when they get access to 5th level spell slots, and yeah, I'm aware that the Swordmage is not. It's a half caster, not a full caster. But the teleportation should be full caster equivalent. That's the important thing. So at 5th level, a wizard would get 2 3rd level spells. So it could, in theory, cast Thunderstep twice. Thunderstep allows you to take an additional person. So with 3 points, I could do 2 90-foot teleports. One of those, I could take an additional person. As much as I hate it, I think this is going to be the option. Or as much as I hate to put in a dedicated teleportation resource. I think that's going to be the option. Put that in there. This is where it'd be useful if Connor were around and I could say, hey Connor, what do you think? But I don't think he is. He's probably doing important things or sleeping or something. I mean, sleeping's important, but you know what I mean. I was thinking these were meters for a moment. How many feet in a mile? How many feet in a mile? Okay, so 16, 20. So, I mean, okay, you could spend more than 3 points. That's a good point. So if we say the distance per point at level 20 was 540 feet, and we could in one go do 10 of those, so that's 5,400. That's just over a mile. We could use all our points and teleport a mile away. And take one person with us. Now also at that point we could also cast Teleportation Circle. Teleport and gate. So, you know, that's not really that significant. I think that's going to be our best option. It's a horrible looking table. Do I revise that now? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So, we want to move that over there. So, first off, we want teleportation points. And then we want teleport distance. Okay. And then we copy to those, and we already have one. Copy one of those, paste there. Right. So that's all fine. Teleportation distance. Right, so at 2, you want to cut that there and there. There we go. And then at 3 is when we get our initial so points. We started off with 2 and 30 foot. That. At some point S is going to come along and go, what? That's crazy. But okay, that should at least be lined up. There we go. I missed a line. There we go. And then we go down, have a look at this line. And we put all the stuff in. 60 feet. 90 feet. 120 feet. 50 feet. 180 feet. 20 feet. 5 feet. 6 2 6 300 7 330. I put the feet in there. Seven 360. 8 390. 8 420. 9 450. 9 470. No, not 270. 480. 10 5 10 10 540. There we go. There, we've got our arcane techniques, we've got our teleportation options. Now, of course, once I've agreed that with Connor, because he's the DM for the game that I'm playing Archimedes in at the moment, I'll need to add it to the main part of the document. And then, so we'll have to convert the whole document back using spell slots. I think that's fine. I think that works better. Well, not necessarily that it works better. I think it's more consistent to do it that way. You then don't have the trouble of explaining to people, why am I using spell points? What are the impacts, etc., etc. It's what people are used to. It makes it a lot easier for it to work. Hey, Biscuit. How was your stream? Then once we've done that, we need to look at how all these fit into the other aspects of the class. So we go into the teleportation abilities. I think that's where it comes in. So you'll have the stuff there. You spend extra points to teleport further, and then you can take an ally with you. You've got Aegis, extra attack, or defense, and then improvements. So the distance is fine, but you now don't require line of sight. And you can take any number of people with you. I might just have standard arcane transport. You can take any number throughout. It just costs you more. Teleportation circle, mental defense, attack, teleport, and then the mastery. So you've got plane of travel. You can cast gate. That's fine. This will need to change. So using your step ability as a free action, I'd have to reduce that down to you can teleport 30 feet as a free action, I think. Or 60 feet. Probably 60 feet at 20th level. 20th level is a bit insane anyway. Yeah, so I had to rework that for it to make sense. Next thing to work on. Oh, goodness me. coffee in my channel. Next thing to take a look at will be the Aegis's. I'm reasonably happy at this point with the way that the marks work. Kind of. I'd still prefer it if they work the way that they were designed to work in 4th edition, but it's never going to happen. So. The auras. So I've got a choice here, and so I can either change these auras to something else and then add in an 18th level ability. Or I can keep the auras, or I don't know. Auras always seem a bit weird to me. I've not played that many games using auras, and I think they're quite hard to keep track of. So it might be easier to sort of mechanically work a different way. I don't know. Just give people a bonus or something. These echoes are less significant now that I've redone done the burst abilities on the arcane techniques. I like this one though, that you can share out temporary hit points. That's cool. This one I might have to rework to be a bit more powerful. Particularly since it's once per short rest. I might have to change it to once per long rest and make it more powerful. We'll see. Enhanced mark on both of these. I need to actually add a feature rather than just say, hey, you can move your mark about. Because I mean, at the moment, those are identical between subclasses, which makes them being in the subclass redundant. And then once I've done that, I need to carry on porting all the spells over. I love that I still got notes to myself. This needs work. But there we go. So yeah, that was the teleportation, Swordmage teleportation work. As I say, I need to run this by others. Just for people to be content that what's the word? For people to be content that it's not too bad. But otherwise, That'd be it. I should probably send you all on to other people. But hardly anybody's streaming at the moment. So in that case, I might just end the stream, leave it there. So thank you all for coming and watching. Hopefully it wasn't too noodly. Yeah, we'll do some more homebrew. More homebrew streams. That's the word, streams. My brain's collapsing now. We'll do some more homebrew streams at some point. There's a bunch of monsters that I want to work on or create. I've been inspired by a few things. 4th edition monster design is really cool, and I want to incorporate some of that. Also, Matt Colville has done a number of videos on monster design, one of which I was going to say recently, it's not that recent. I watched it recently, but it wasn't that recent. Was one on action-oriented monster design, which includes cool things like well, he called them villain actions. I probably call them encounter actions. But they're like legendary actions, but you fire each precisely once. Normally, if your monsters are these are sort of boss monsters, and if they're gonna last, say, 3 rounds, you have 1 per round. And the idea is it sets a sort of dramatic tone, a dramatic arc to the battle. So first action, you have this boss sort of doing positioning and things. Second action, it's sort of allows your spread to get more aggressive on the players, and the third action is a sort of big either act of desperation or a big sort of final, right, everybody kill the players sort of thing. And it lends I'm not explaining it very well. It lends a nice dramatic arc to the encounter. So I want to explore some of those as well, and I'll start creating basically my own monster manual, which will then eventually be monsters that I will use in my own games. So yeah, I'll probably do more homebrew streams on those. Yeah. Other than that, come back this evening at 7 o'clock to watch Mike play games. I shall be going to bed early because I need to go to work tomorrow. And then I will be back on Tuesday evening playing Guild Wars 2 with Mike. And whilst you're at it following other people, you should absolutely follow Kitten, because she is wonderful. She comes into all my streams and does all the amazing things. And also streams most mornings. So that's cool. Right. I'm gonna stop rambling now and just end So, thank you all very much for coming along. I hope you found this interesting, or at least something nice in the background. And I will catch you next time. Take care.